Hi, and welcome to Sister Vala's YouTube channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoy this video and this message. I wanted to share with you an out-of-body experience that I had. I've had a handful of them now, and this was my second out-of-body experience. And this was the most profound and loving experience I've ever had. And I hope that you enjoy the description and the message that I feel that I got out of it. So anyway, so this out-of-body happened in January of 2011. And what was going on at that period of time for me is I was getting my master's degree and I was having horrible insomnia at that period of time. I was not sleeping hardly at all. And I felt like a zombie really at that period of time. And I don't know how I got through school feeling like a zombie. But what was going on in January was I'm from Tucson, and my congresswoman was shot. And several people in the community were killed in a shooting. And the whole town was in this upheaval. People were just so emotional, obviously, and people were experiencing so much sorrow and grief and shock. And of course, this wasn't helping my insomnia. So like I'm saying, this out-of-body happened the night that that everything had happened in Tucson. So for me, this experience went from one extreme to another. During the day, during my waking life, of course there was so much sorrow. And at night, during my out-of-body, I had just this pure, loving, godlike experience that I want to share with you. So it was around 5 in the morning. I still had not slept at all. I was just giving up on life. I remember thinking to myself, you know, I'm so exhausted. I have so much work to do. I just can't go on like this anymore. I don't know what's going to get me through this. I just want to die. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, like I said. I hadn't slept at all. The sun was going to rise soon, and I had to go on with my day, unfortunately. So as I was laying there in bed, I started feeling like my soul was kind of loosening up. And I don't know if you ever experienced this. Sometimes I experience this when I'm meditating, where you kind of get like a sensation of rotation, or like a shaking sensation, like you're loosening up, or a twirling sensation. So that's what that feeling was for me. I thought, oh, maybe I'm close to sleeping. Maybe this is going to happen soon. But something even better happened. And as I was shaking, you know, I was just in this mindset of just giving up on life. I was just so exhausted. I just couldn't hold on anymore. And that's when, at this moment between wakefulness and sleep, there's like this critical moment right in between that I think that I just caught. And that's when I just drifted off. I just went right out of my body. And this was the most real experience that I've ever had. This was definitely real. This wasn't a dream. I was completely detached from my body, and I was up at the ceiling. And I would say that I was about maybe half to about as tall as I am now. And I was up at the ceiling, and I just wanted to feel how I felt, if I felt safe. And I did feel safe, and I did feel at peace, and I felt like everything was okay. And that I also didn't have to worry about my body, because for some reason it just didn't matter. You know, I just completely let go of the idea of attachment to the body. So I was up at the ceiling and I felt very safe, and I thought all I had to do was think, not really with my head, but just with my being. And I just thought to myself, where can I go? And I just drifted right through the wall, right through the air duct really, into the living room. And I realized that was so easy, that was so natural. Great, where else can I go? And I had no concern for my body during this period of time. So I had thought, where else can I go? And I ended up in a park with a baseball field. I'm guessing it was probably somewhere in the Southwest where I live. And there was this beautiful dog there. And this dog was just like any other dog, really. It was just this tan dog. It was in the park. It was at night. And I just remember like feeling such a kinship with this dog. I just loved this dog so much. This dog was just so amazing. Like I had so much love and joy for this animal, for this dog. And I started feeling this very strong sensation of just pure love, just the essence of love everywhere. It was within all things, within all beings, in the air surrounding us. Where we see nothing, there's love. And I felt this connection with this love. And I realized that, we are this love. We are this pure, true love that exists in the universe. And from there, I thought to myself, where else can I go? And I went thousands of miles away, and with a snap of a finger, just with a thought of the mind. And I saw my mother making breakfast where she was in the Midwest. And that was just wonderful, seeing her. I felt so safe, like I said, during this entire period of time. And I thought to myself, where else can I go? And I saw this, what I would imagine that I was someplace in Asia. I was thinking that I was in Japan, but I'm not really sure where I was at this period of time. There was a man in a business suit walking down the street, and there were buildings everywhere, and it seemed like he was, going to work perhaps. And, he was walking, but I did see something. I saw something coming out of his dantian, his belly, and it was this violet or this lilac-colored electric light. This literally like this light coming out of his belly. And it was just so beautiful. And it seemed to me that it connected to somebody else. And that person that this lilac-colored cord is connected to, it just doesn't matter who that person is, because we're all exactly the same. And it was just this pure, loving, flowing lilac light coming out of him and entering somebody else. And, your connection, I felt like everybody had this light coming out from them and connecting to somebody else. And like I said, it doesn't matter who you're connected to, because we're all really the same. We're the same being. We're the same loving being. And so my feeling about this light that this man had coming out of his belly was that obviously it's this connection that we have to each other. But I had the idea that you could pray and you could send energy into this cord, and that would go to the person that you're connected to, and in turn continue going to everybody on this earth. You could send your loving prayers out to everybody, and it could reach everybody if you send it out through this cord. Also, I had the feeling that whenever, let's say a tsunami occurs and hundreds of people pass away or suffer because of it, there's this tug on the cord where we can feel things in our gut, where we know things are happening. because of the tug on this cord that we're connected to everybody. When one area is missing, several people who were attached, you feel that tug on the cord. So continue on with the out of body. I really felt like I was with everybody all at the same time. I think that everybody is very much so connected to everybody else on this earth. I see no difference between anyone, for that matter. We're all like a fragment from the same source. And I felt that just this complete unity, this complete oneness, this one-mindedness, this godlike mind that we contain, that we are a part of. We're no different than God, than the Creator. I felt like, during this experience, this is how people describe God, with everyone at the same time. I knew everyone. I knew everything about everyone. Like I said, I was with everyone at the same time, and I loved everyone. There was nothing you could do wrong, and you wouldn't be loved for it, and you wouldn't be forgiven for it. In fact, there's nothing to be forgiven. Like, there's just this overwhelming essence of just love, and I thought, this is definitely how people describe God. It is possible. It definitely is possible. So I ended up thinking, where else can I go? And again, with just that thought in my mind, I was someplace else. I couldn't tell you where it was. It just didn't matter. Names didn't matter really. And I found myself with kind of hovering above this man who was laying on a sidewalk by a shop of some sort. And I had the feeling that he was homeless, and this person in particular had so much negative self-worth, and he had no love for himself, no love for anyone. He was in complete misery. He was in complete sorrow, and I had the feeling that he was dying. And he was very much so alone in his world. But when I was with him, I felt that he was just so amazing. He was so, so beautiful. He was so perfect. There's nothing that he could have done that was wrong, that wouldn't deserve love. He had such negative thoughts going on, but he had completely lost his remembrance of who he really is, and who he really is this pure loving essence, this godlike mind where you can create anything that you want. And I had so much love for him, and I just couldn't believe how perfect he was. He was just amazing. I loved this person. He was incredible. So I hope that he's okay, and if he did pass away, he's in the best place. I know that. And after I saw this man, I thought to myself, where else can I go? And I thought that I would have gone someplace else in the world, like I had been this whole time. But I ended up just going up into the universe. And it was just so easy, it was so natural, it was so real, it was so pure, it was so loving. It was our natural state. So when I was in the universe, it was just amazing to say something like that, but it's real. It really happened. I was in the universe, and it was just black with just beautiful, beautiful white stars everywhere. Incredible. And I have no idea how far I went or anything like that. I couldn't tell you. But I ended up seeing this star cluster. Maybe it was a galaxy, I'm not really sure, but it seemed like a star cluster. And I thought to myself, oh my God, that's my home. That's where I'm from. I should go there. And I kind of had an idea of what the like spirits or the people looked like there. And there was no planet there. It was just really stars. It was really, what it was really just like this light, this pure white light. And what seemed like stars, or like a cluster of stars, were just like little fragments, and they were all just souls that were combining, that were coming together in this godlike whirl of stars. It was beautiful, and I thought to myself, that's my home, that's where I'm from, I want to go there, I want to go back. But I felt like if I went there, I wouldn't want to come back to my body. Why would I want to come back if I went home, you know? So I ended up coming back to my body just in that instant. Just when I thought I should go back, I was back, no problem. I wasn't afraid of getting lost. I wasn't afraid that my body was going to die. In fact, I couldn't care less about my body at that time. The body's just nothing, and what matters is our mindset and the love that we have. So I wanted to share, obviously I wanted to share my out-of-body experience. And it's not really my intention to prove that out-of-body experiences happen or that there's life after death. What I would like for you as the viewer to walk away with, ideally, is that love is key to our lives. Love is the only thing that exists. What we are is the essence of love. And that we are all one. You know, if in our daily lives, if we see something in someone else that we don't like, just remember that we're all exactly the same. We come from the same source. And perhaps, you know, everyone has this seed of everything that we're made out of within ourselves. So if you see someone who's in a terrible mood at work, you don't get along with them, you don't like them, see that seed in yourself and know that you're exactly the same. And remember, maybe there was a time in your life where that seed was more dominant in you, and where that showed up more in your life, and how perhaps you overcame it, maybe not. But just remember that we're all exactly the same, and we all are here for the same purpose, and what we all really want out of life is love. We all want to be loved. And I feel like we've forgotten what our source is, where we came from, and that's this pure essence of love. That's the godlike experience that I had, and I hope that this was interesting for you. And maybe you got something out of it, maybe not, but I just wanted to share it with you. The most important message is I love you, and you are so loved. You are never alone, and you are perfect. There's nothing that you can do that is wrong. So, thank you.